Hi guys, and welcome again to another how-to video. And in this video we are going to be cleaning the Beretta PX4 Storm. This specific model is in 45 and it is a Type C. Type C will not have a safety decocking system on the side. It will be a smooth double action on the pistol. Not very common. However, the maintenance directions that I will give you today, the how-to, won't be applicable on all models of the PX4 Storm, whether it's compact one, a full-size one, a 9, a 40. You're gonna find the same the direction to be applicable for all of them. So first thing we're gonna make sure is that the gun is unloaded. This gun has been safety checked already, but again, no magazine in the gun, no round in the chamber. Prefer to triple check that. And this has a rotating barrel system, and a rotating barrel, which makes it a little bit particular to maintain, disassemble, and reassemble. Not difficult, but definitely different than your Glock or anything like this. So as you can see, when the actions move back, that barrel will actually slightly rotate, unlock the action, and this will allow the gun to cycle. Now, I like the system. Because it takes a little bit more energy to unlock the actions, which means the energy of the recoil that you're gonna feel would be lessened due to this. So typically that rotating system will take a little bit more of the recoil out of the gun and make this gun very comfortable to shoot. Very, very comfortable. And this one is in 45 and it's very comfortable to shoot. Now you're gonna have, to disassemble the gun, you're gonna have tabs on both sides of the gun, and you're gonna have to grab them on both sides and pull them straight down to take the upper apart. So what I like to do is to just grab the rear portion, pull it slightly back just to release a little bit of the tension. So you really don't need to do this. Pull the two tabs down. That's how I do it, and keep them all the way down as I'm pushing the upper portion of the slider, the action, out of the gun. Good. And that was the disassembly. So I have my frame right here, and it's pretty dirty, as you can probably tell. Let me see. I can show you this on camera. It zooms in. Yeah, it's been shot quite a bit. And 45 is not exactly what you're gonna call the cleanest of rounds to shoot, but a lot of fun. And you can see the carbonizations that you have in front and the color difference. Yeah, we're gonna clean this up. Now you have your upper assembly with a cam cart here. So this will actually allow for the barrel to rotate on. So very easy to take apart. You can just grab that block and you pull it straight up. And you're gonna have your recoil spring, buffer weight in it, and that little cam cart right there with the index. That little index right here will fit in the opposite side of the barrel, right? And as you can see, the barrel rotates slightly for unlocking, for the gun to unlock the action. So very easy. Just you can push it from the chamber side and just remove the barrel right out of the gun. Comes right out. Pretty dirty. You have your cut funnel ramp in there, and maybe you can see inside. It's pretty dirty, absolutely. So yeah, that's gonna go. We're gonna clean that up. Very nice. And obviously you have your slide. This is slide assembly, obviously, and you have a little bit of dirt and carbon. So we're gonna start cleaning it. To clean it, I'm gonna be using that product I've been using for quite a few years already. I'm very satisfied with that product. It's CleanSoil CLP. So CLP is gonna stand for Clean, Lubricate, and Protect. So this is the product you're going to be using to clean the gun, oil it, and protect it. I will put a link on the description of all the products I'm going to be using today. So the first step for me is going to apply the product onto the gun. So not to make a mess and to control how much of the product and where I put the product, I will be using an acid brush. Very inexpensive. You find them on Amazon. Again, link below. and this will allow you to control how much of the product you're putting on your gun and where you're putting it. So I highly recommend it. I definitely recommend it. So I'm going to take the CLP, very simple. I'm going to spray that CLP onto the acid brush, and I'm going to start. I have my little routine, so I like to start with the barrel, then go for the slide, the frame, obviously, and the cart. So I'm gonna apply the product. I'm virtually just painting over the parts, so you have that wet look to it. Right, making sure that I'm taking care of that little track right here. Okay, that's a very satisfying thing to do. And as far as inside the barrel, I will take my little spray, and it's a very thin liquid, so I'm gonna cap it with my glove on the other side. I'm gonna squirt a little bit into the barrel, set it aside, and just let it rotate in there so that you have that product coating all metal part. Then I'm going to set this aside. Spray a little bit more of the product onto the acid brush, and I'm going to apply the product now on the slide. So here you're going to have your rails. You want to definitely take care of this. You can have it on both sides. Let's connect the upper and lower, so there's a lot of friction. So you're going to have a lot of debris in there. You definitely want to make sure that you take care of that. So just virtually give it that wet look. Excellent. So, and since it's very, very dirty, I'm going to apply a little bit more product, and this allows you to control how much of the product you're putting on your gun. The CLP is safe on most surface, so you can apply it, and you want to apply it also on the outside part of the gun, because you probably sweat on it, or the gun's been exposed to, I don't know, if you were carrying the gun, perspiration would be one of them. Now, that's corrosive, we know that. All right, so you want to apply the product all over the parts, and be generous with it, just not too much, but excellent. And we're going to apply all the product onto the gun to give it that wet look onto all the parts. Beautiful. Setting this aside, don't forget the cart, that little index. And I'm going to do the same. Apply all the product. Apply the product all over the part of it. And this product, as soon as you apply it, start to work for you. So essentially, it will try to separate carbon deposit that you have on the gun. So make sure you let the product do most of the job for you. I see so many people who would have a tendency to start scrubbing right away. You know, if you have a little bit of time, you can fix yourself a little coffee, with an espresso or something like that, and definitely let that product do its job. Definitely recommend it. All right, so now I'm gonna attack the frame. Okay, and same thing. So here's your rails, obviously. So you're gonna have connecting rail 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously connecting the lower upper parts. You definitely want to take care of that. Right? A lot of friction, debris. Right? Such a good gun, actually. I'm a big fan of the PX4 Storm. It's a reliable pistol. For what I know, has been used by a few law enforcement agencies. It's been used also by the South Africa police. South African police use the PX4 Storm, and they deal with a lot of criminals there and a lot of problems. So if they rely on that gun and trust it, that's good by me. Right, and you apply the product all over the place. Right, put it aside, and you can put a little bit of the product on the follower, on your magazine. Right, don't want to do too much on this. You want to try to avoid getting oil or product inside the magazine. So this is going to be definitely something you wanna try to avoid. Okay. So now I did apply the product onto the gun. The product will have had the time to separate that carbon deposit and all that gunk out of the gun. And whatever the product could not get to or had a hard time with, that's where this comes in place. And this is going to be a nylon bristle brush. If you find it again on Amazon, if you have an old toothbrush, yeah, pretty much the same, yeah, except the professional one have a single row of bristle on one side, but really it doesn't make any difference. You could get away with an old toothbrush. Obviously this is more professionally oriented, so I'm going to spray a little bit of the product and I'm going to follow the same direction. So remember, start with the barrel, went for the slide, the cart, and the frame. So I want to keep that rolling, my little discipline. And obviously you can have your own way to go around it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that nylon brush with the product and start working it and virtually brushing the barrel, the outside of it, and taking care of the outside. I'm going to take care of the outside of the barrel first before I deal with the inside, because I don't want to clean the inside of the barrel and then brush debris into it. So if that makes sense to you, sure it makes sense. If you have a different sort of routine, feel free to let me know as far as what you're doing when you clean your guns. But this has been working very well for me. Right, making sure that you brush and clean that feeding ramp. Right, it's gonna have good consequences with reliability. So definitely want to take care of that feeding ramp. Take care of that locking, those locking blocks that you have on it. Very good. Set this aside. I'm gonna do the same for the. I'm gonna do the same here. So I'm gonna tilt the brush, obviously, so that I can access the rails. Right. I'm gonna do this on both sides. So hope you have a good view on this. Okay. All right. Then I'm gonna brush all the parts inside the action. And obviously, here's something that most people have a tendency to forget. Try not to forget that. That would be the bridge face right here. Right. So make sure you brush that and get it clean. And don't forget to do the outside. So you're gonna have those serration here. You're racking it. You're gonna leave skin residues in there. So make sure you take care of that also. So clean it in line with it. So you don't want to go up and down, just side to side. Right? You can start seeing how much nicer that is, how much sharper that is. Right? Well, you can do the front too. I'm not using the front so much, so not to worry about it. A lot of carbonizations. You're gonna have a lot of carbon deposit on this, on the 45 specifically, at the end, the muzzle end of it. So, and take care of my sights as well. Right? Those are painted sights, nothing fancy. Right? Set this aside. I'm gonna go to the little cart, and same thing. Okay, brush in different angles because you're gonna have sharp angles here. You want to definitely make sure that you get everything. Don't be shy. This is nylon, so you're not gonna scratch the gun. You're not gonna damage anything. You can really go hard at it. I've seen so many people trying to be so gentle with it. No, don't worry about it. That's why you want nylon. Don't get the steel. Don't get the copper one. Get the nylon one. It's gonna serve you very well. All right, that is done. And now I'm going to do the same up here. All right, so notice I'm brushing those rails on the side. So I want to get the top of it and underneath of it. So, right, you can replay the video, back it up, and stop it if you miss something. All right, very good. And I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. Very nice. Excellent. And you have the opposite fitting part, fitting ramp, fitting cut here. So you also want to make sure you take care of that. Right. Right. Just a light brush on everything. Remember the magazine, the follower, well, same thing. Leave a light brush to it. It's going to look so much better. And I'm going to set this aside. Now, a lot of people is going to look at me, is going to comment, is going to ask, well, what about the recoil spring? Nothing specific to that. So what I'm going to do is just take a look at it, make sure that I don't have debris or that the spring is not bended or broken. I'm just gonna inspect it. Um, and if you find any sorts of debris between the coil, you can actually just brush it out like this. As far as the lubrication of that spring, whatever me touching it with a glove would be pretty much enough. So don't need to do too much on that. So set it aside. Okay. So now all the carbon deposit that you may have had on that gun would have been brushed away. But remember, we're missing one thing. We have to clean inside that barrel. So to do so, I will be using a bore snake. Now, it is caliber specific. It'll cost you somewhere around $14 last time I checked. Um, it, so you're going to have a big felt material, and you're going to have a built-in brush to clean actually the rifling inside that barrel. Follow with a string, and at the end of it, a little weight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the barrel, I'm going to run the weight chamber side, and I'm going to pull the weight, I'm going to pull the string through it. And the idea is to pull that brush through the barrel. Good. See the brush on the other side? And I'm going to do this back and forth a few times. Too far. Good. This brush is a little bit on the older side of it, so there's not a crazy amount of friction in it. And back and forth, just the brush part, Do it a few times, and then what you do is you pull the entire bore snake through it, and as you can see, the back part is a little bit thicker. This will remove all the dirt and just leave the right amount of lubricant in it. And voila. And I don't know if you can see the barrel now. Let me see if I can play with the camera. Very nice, very nice. Good. All right, so technically the gun is sort of clean. I mean, it's clean, everything has been separated, but all the dirt still probably float around. So what I'm going to do next is prepare all the parts for oiling and reassembly. So I'm going to take a cotton shirt or cotton rag. If you have an old t-shirt, you can use an old t-shirt, that would be fine. Make sure it's cotton, 100% cotton. No blends on this. You can buy those rags already pre-cut on Amazon, very cheap. Or if you have an old t-shirt, like I say, you can recycle it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wipe everything down. So I'm going to wipe the barrel down. Remember my little routine. So we want to wipe down all this product to put it on it. Don't forget the camera right here, so you can roll the rag, as you can see, and virtually go through it. Excellent. You don't need to buy those patches that they have, right? All right. The barrel is just beautiful. Just beautiful. Look at this. So I'm going to set the barrel aside. I'm going to do the same for my slide, right? So I'm going to wipe down everything. The best of my accessibility, or like I say, the best, the size of my finger will allow me to wipe down. So just like this, folding the rag, running the rag on each side. As you can see, removing quite some dirt to it. Very satisfying work, actually. Well, folding it. We're not looking for white glove inspection. We don't want to do too much. Just a good cleaning. Just a good solid cleaning on this. All right. So everything else here is pretty clean. Now to access the parts I could not access with the size of my finger, here's the trick. Take the little brush, put it over the rag, and now you have sort of micro fingers, will allows you to tilt the brush. And you see what I'm talking about? You can tilt it, and this will allow you to access those rails, those cutouts here, and remove quite a lot of the dirt out of it without having to use a screwdriver part or any special tools. Just keep on using the same, right? Very easy. Same thing I'm going to use for the bridge face right here. Beautiful. This is clean. Excellent. Set this aside. And I'm gonna do the same for the frame here. And so you have a big opening on this gun for the carts, for that indexing cart right there. So I'll just wipe it down. Wipe everything down best you can. That's good enough. All right. I'll do the same here. Put a little pre-cocked indicator here. A little red color. Makes it look so good. Very good. Excellent. Same thing. For whatever I could not access, I'll take that little brush, put it over the rag. I'm gonna do the same. Light brush. I hope you guys have a good view angle of it. All right. Very good. Much better. Excellent. And let's not forget this guy. Do the same. Using the little brush through the rag to access everything. Makes it easier. Now the way I'm going to oil that gun, to lubricate that gun, is going to be sort of particular. And I will show you this. Oh, let's not forget our little magazine, shall we? All right, so just brushing it off. Good. Taking my little rag, just wiping everything down on the magazine as well. Excellent. Look at how beautiful it looks now. Shiny, amazing. I'm gonna set this aside. Beautiful. Okay. So now the gun is finally clean and sort of ready for reassembling. So what we're gonna need to do is oil it, so it's ready for oiling. And here's where the oiling part is going to be, well, a little bit different. So I have my small applicator bottle with the little needle, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this into the rails on its side. Right, so I'm gonna do this. I'll show you how to do. So don't put too much, just a little. Very easy with that little needle applicator. I'm gonna do this here, right? Just put a little bit of it. Very good, excellent. So we're using this. Set it aside. Now for the barrel and the actual card, what I'm gonna be using is the TW25B Milcom grease. Since I'm having this card right here running in this track, and there's a little bit of more play, I'm gonna treat it a little bit the way I treat my AK-47s when I actually clean them. So since there's a little bit of play, and I'm gonna do this for the barrel, something that sticks onto it a little bit longer and works a little bit longer. So I have my Milcom grease, and I will apply the grease. Obviously, you're gonna start seeing where your friction mark on that. And I'm gonna apply a little bit of grease. Very good. And I'm gonna spread this with my finger, just light amount, but just right. Excellent. Very good. This will stick onto those parts. So it has a tendency, that grease has a tendency to stay on the gun much longer. All right, a little bit here. Very good. So excellent. I'm gonna do the same for the cart right here. So I have that little index here, and this rides over the barrel. So I want to be generous in this and take care of applying a little bit of this grease wherever I see friction here. And you're not going to have a lot of friction on top here, but just why not? Right. With this little dispenser here, it's very easy to control how much product you put on it. Very good. Excellent. I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to take care of the frame. And for the frame, I'm going to put a little bit of the liquid onto the rails. Very good. And right there. And a little bit on the ramp right there. Okay. Oops. Excellent. Just spray it around with your fingers. Don't need to go too much on it, just so that the metal parts have a little bit of coating on it. Excellent. Beautiful. And now for the reassembly. So take the barrel, and you want this channel to be facing up, so when you have the slide down to the table, just like this. So you're going to start with the barrel in, and you're going to sit it down. Good. Oops. And you're going to have that channel all the way towards you. So this is the front of the gun, and you want the channel to be all the way towards you. Excellent. Take your recoil spring, pointy part goes in, and you'll see it sticking in the back right here. The weight goes towards the front, and you're going to push it slightly and try to virtually sit it onto the cart, and that's very easy. So you press it a little bit forward, and you play with it, you find that opening, and it will catch it. Very, very easy on that. Excellent. A little bit of the oil here. Very good. Okay. So this has been reassembled, and this is how it looks. Kind of bend back down a little bit. That's okay. Not going to be a problem. So just hold it. Going to take your frame, and you're going to align those rails with the opposite rails. So I see so many people again trying to align the dust cover, which is this dust cover. There's nothing in there. You want to align the rails with the rails. Let's see if I can show you in a better angle. Very good. And you're going to guide your assembly to the rails in the back and pull on the action, and voila, this locked itself in place. Very good. So technically your gun is now clean. You have successfully cleaned your PX4 Storm, and we are almost done. Almost. And by almost, what I mean is that the gun itself is clean, it's fantastic, looks amazing. It does feel amazing, but it's super oily, and that's not the way you're going to carry it. That's not the way you're going to put it in your range bag. So to actually finish the job, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my gloves. I'm going to take off those gloves. Very good. Set this aside. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that cotton rag, and I'm going to wipe everything down so that the gun is not dripping with product or oil. And since I put the grease onto the barrel, it's not going to splatter grease all over the place. Just give it a good wipe down. That's going to look fabulous. Amazing. And guys, again, like I say, if you do enjoy those videos, feel free to post a comment about it. Post comments about your experience on firearm. On that firearm specifically, it would be interesting. And again, like and subscribe. That definitely help. And yep, that's your PX4 Storm. Magazine goes in, pull, locks open, close, smooth as silk. What an amazing gun. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Until the next how-to, if you have a specific gun you are interested in learning about or maintenance, feel free to leave it in the comment below. I'll do my best if I have access to that firearm. Take care and have a good one.